In this video, I sit down with my coaching student Edgar on how he went zero to over $10,000 a month in profit with online and retail arbitrage in only 6 months. Q4 is right around the corner, so if you're interested in working directly with me to scale up and be ready to take full advantage, make sure to apply for my coaching program at the link in the description. Either way, I hope you enjoy the video with Edgar. It's an awesome story. Stick around through the entire thing. I guarantee you'll pick up some free game from it.
What's up, Edgar? Thanks for joining me, man. Super impressed with what you've been able to do the past couple months.
Yeah, man. Excited to be here. I used to watch this all the time with like you doing the interview. So now finally here. So pretty exciting.
Boom. There we go. Well, it shows what hard work can do. So you just want to basically introduce yourself, where you're from, your experience reselling wise, and then what you're up to currently Amazon wise.
Yeah. So I'm 21. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Been doing Amazon since February. Came from the hype shoe world. So I used to like resell hype shoes and vintage clothing. So I used to go to thrift stores, estate sales, run through malls trying to cop sneakers, right? And started in February on Amazon. And thanks to Miles, like every month has been better and better and better.
Sure. And then what was August?
August was 77K revenue, probably like 10K to 12K profit.
Sure. Yeah. So right around that 15% mark that you can expect with OA. And you were dropping some sauce just off camera that you've actually been finding some even higher ROI stuff lately. So what's really been the catalyst of that, do you think? You think it's just market timing or increased scale, or what are we looking at with that?
Yeah, so the higher ROI stems from doing RA, so retail arbitrage, so going in store, right? So I do a lot of Nike outlets, and one of the big tips I can give you, like to the audience for like in store, is learning variations, right? Because sometimes when you scan a product in store, it won't pop up. But if you know the variations, this also stems from doing online arbitrage. If you know the variations, you can like put that ASIN once you go to list it, and you'll make way more money just learning variations when you are listing products. So that'd probably be a big catalyst, I'd say.
Yeah, because it's weird, man. The way Amazon works, how certain products, for whatever reason, will just have multiple Amazon listings. Occasionally, like the photo or the title will be wrong. So the key here is that the barcode only matches one of them. But if you have experience doing online arbitrage as well, you notice the multiple listing products. And so you build expertise around the stuff. And that's what you only get after doing this for several months, basically. And you've always been really into RA and OA as well. What are some of the other advantages of retail arbitrage? Because I think it's really slept on.
Yeah. So another advantage is that you get stuff in hand same day, right? So if you wanted to, you could do FBM that same day, get it sold the next day, the next few days, and then you get your money back so much quicker. So big advantage is honestly just getting the product in hand and also like learning how it sells way quicker than if somebody were to buy it online and then send it FBA. So that's what I'd have to say.
Sure. So let's, expand on that, right? So say we buy a product online arbitrage, right? The quickest it's going to arrive is in like 3 days for the most part, right? It could take as much as like 7 to 10 days, right? Then you process that product off to FBA and it takes, typically a week or two at the lowest to get listed. What Edgar's talking about here is buying something FBM at Marshall's or the outlet, listing it that same day, and then having feedback on that purchase within 2 or 3 days, which majorly compresses your learning curve. So not only do you tangibly, you're able to make money quicker, but intangibly, you're able to learn quicker, which I think is incredibly useful as well, basically. And then what's your strategy mainly for online arbitrage? What sourcing methods are you using? How are you finding stuff good?
Yeah, so now I do a lot of manual sourcing. Once you're new, though, it can get it's very difficult to just start manual sourcing. So I'll do manual sourcing, a little bit of KPF, and then I do OA to prep now. So I'm in an apartment, so don't have a lot of space to be prepping myself, especially when I'm doing like RA in-house. So I'll do OA to prep center, and that not only like it can save you money because you're not paying sales tax if you get a sales tax free state. So doing that has been like a big catalyst in my business as well.
Yeah, well, that's great too. We get the sales tax advantage and then product finder as well. Like I was learning that stuff earlier this year too, and that's really game changing and sourcing. That's what one of the main things we focus on, just coaching wise as well. So you've been at it right about 6 months, 6, 7 months. Because you started in February.
Yeah, I started in February.
Sure. So what are some of the mistakes you made in February, March, and April when you were brand new that you obviously could have easily avoided if you knew what you know now?
Not getting help early on, like trying to do it all on your own. So like not networking with people. I remember all the way up until March, I had an individual seller account. So Amazon would limit the amount of stuff I could send in, and I didn't know why. So I just wait for stuff to sell out and then ship more stuff. And then I'm like, and then someone told me like, just get a pro seller account and your limits are going to increase. So that was like 2 months of like money I could have been making. So yeah, just getting help earlier on, networking earlier on is what I'd say.
Yeah, and it just you kind of don't know what you don't know because it's not like there's formal education. Everyone starting this, ourselves included, is completely brand new to it. And the nice thing is that there's free online communities that you can get in, right, to be able to take advantage of that stuff. So how do you actually go about meeting Amazon sellers? Because that's something a lot of people watching this video want to do, but they aren't quite sure how to do.
Yeah, exactly. So to meet new Amazon sellers, you got to have an online presence, right? So you got to make a Twitter page, make an Instagram page, and just post. Like it can literally just be like your Amazon bars and like pictures of boxes. And what that does is it validates you to other sellers, right? To where like when they see you, they actually know like, hey, this guy's putting up numbers, this guy's putting in work. And then if you ever meet them in person, they actually know who you are. And that can be a great relationship down the road. So yeah, just make a social media account and it'll just validate you to these other sellers.
Yeah, because like I obviously have an online presence, you do as well. We get questions from time to time, and the people who you can see that are really in the trenches doing it, for better or for worse, get a much higher quality answer, right? So it's important that if you're looking to do the same thing, that you get in the space. And it's, a lot of people worry about it. Like a lot of you guys watching this are worried about what your high school friends would think if they ever found it. First of all, who cares what they think? Second of all, they're not paying your bills anyway. So definitely who cares what they think with this stuff. But yeah, man, the community is awesome. Like our friend Max, we're both able to jam with on these different topics and such. And then, so besides just like the getting help necessarily side of things, what I really like about the just community aspect of it is actually being able to work with other sellers on stuff. So can you talk how like group sourcing works, sharing leads, etc., from your experience?
Yeah, so that just saves you so much time, right? Like there's sometimes I'll wake up and I'll have like 3 to 5 good leads from like some of my like Amazon friends. And the amount of times that saves you from sourcing is incredible, right? So just networking with these other sellers is very big, like probably the most important thing when it comes to this Amazon business, I'd have to say.
Yeah, bro. And the way I like to see it is it's basically like we're all taking this test, right? Kind of similar to school, except that you can like work with your boys, right? Now, the
Exactly.
key here is that typically you're not friends with them IRL. You got to meet them online, right? So you got to like actually put in effort. There's not just a dude who happens to be sitting next to you on this stuff, but you're rewarded so handsomely for doing that. And you guys watching this time and time again, we bring up these dudes that are putting on numbers. We just had Kim on, who was really, really new. And
That's all.
everyone mentions how they have other people they're working with on the stuff, right? So you guys need to put that infrastructure in place for yourself. The drop dead easiest way to do that is to commit to posting once a day on Twitter or join our free Discord and start talking in there and stuff like that. So how do you see this evolving, Eddie? Because I know you recently actually dropped out of college. So you got a ton of extra time. So what's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, so plan moving forward is just to scale this business. Long-term goal is I'd like to live remotely. So like live in different countries and just do like OA to prep. That's the goal long term. But how am I going to get there? Getting more capital, right? So I talked to you about it. I'm going to get a new Amex for Q4, just so like I'm spending more and I'm making more money. So do that. Scale OA to prep. I also just hired a VA like 2-3 weeks ago. So now it's just training him. And when you have like a VA that's sending you like 5 to 10 good leads a day, it's very easy to spend more money. So yeah, just scaling that on the OA side of things, that's the goal.
Sure. Yeah. And can you just expand on the virtual assistant side things, like how that works, how you hired them, where they're from, everything like that?
Yeah. So how I have it set up is me and my buddy Abe.
Oh,
We,
cool. I didn't
yeah,
even know that. Cool. Cool. Okay.
yeah. So we're splitting a VA. So it's very cheap, right? It's very cheap. How we hired him is we got him from Online Jobs PH. You put up a job listing, you get like 100 applicants in a day. It's insane. Right? But once you do have a friend splitting it with you, you can split the training. So like every day we're getting on a Zoom call with this guy and we're training him to source, right? And since you have 2 people doing it, you're not doing it every day, you're saving time, and he's getting better training from 2 people. So yeah, that's how it works. He sends us leads 5 days a week, and then we just go through them, review them with them, and yeah, just trying to get them better.
Isn't it crazy how quick your life can change, dude? Like 6 months ago, you were in college, like not on a 6-figure profit run rate. Now you are. We're employees, basically like virtual employees that live across the world, right? Work with other friends. It's really like, honestly inspiring and stuff, like to, be able to see, because I've gone through that exact process, and you get to like, really reframes your worldview. Like you're talking about living in other countries and stuff. How do you see that fitting in? Like where specifically you think you'll go to ideally? Probably a myriad of places.
Thailand. I want to go to Thailand and train Muay Thai. So I want to do that.
Cool. Okay. We had talked about that, I think,
Yeah,
too.
way back we talked about it.
Yeah.
And then maybe Argentina. I think Billy Flips did he go there?
He was there for a minute, man. Yes, he really liked it. Yeah, and that's what's cool,
Yeah.
bro. Is it's interesting, man. Like if any of you guys watching this haven't looked into like the book, The 4 Hour Work Week, and just like the digital nomad community online as well, it's really interesting that like a lot of the freedom you guys seek is actually significantly less expensive than like living in the US, which is kind of crazy. Like you can live in Thailand for like $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Basically, you just got to get the full OA to prep setup. Or what you could do, here we go. Here would really be the finesse, right? You get the 9 months traveling or 10 months traveling, and then November, December, Oregon, Delaware, no sales tax bunker, basically run up FBM, or even just Arizona and just rip the RA because you already know that so well. You know what I mean? It just gives you so many options when you can build these skills, right? And it doesn't even have to just be Amazon stuff, right? It's just any type of, skill where you can make money online is really, really nice. Basically, do you think you'll do wholesale in the future?
I don't know. Like I like to get into real estate too, and I think if I can get enough capital for and I think I can, like I know I can.
Oh, of course.
OA, then I'll just do like real estate and then just have like delegate my business to where I'm not working as much time on it, and I can also do real estate at the same time. So probably not.
Interesting. Yeah. And either way, I mean, it's going to be the kind of thing where it definitely was for me, where the more people you get to know in the space, right, opportunities are just going to be coming across, your table. Like with me, with, being able to do the seller amp stuff, or whether it's like starting a private label or something like that. Like it's just cool. The more people you can get around that are like really trying to do things, improve their life, etc., good things will happen basically. And so for the person who's watching who hasn't gotten started yet, what are your like tips and action plans? Because you figured it out a hell of a lot quicker than I did. With this stuff, several months, ahead of where I was, just in terms of like a similar timeline, basically, especially in terms of having the professional account. But besides getting a professional account, what else should the people watching this do to, be able to have success quick?
Yeah, I said it earlier, but networking is a big thing, right? Like Miles said, you don't know what you don't know. And if you have people that you talk to that do the same thing as you, they can teach you so much stuff for your Amazon business, as well as taking time to source online, taking time to source and store yourself to where you have that bank of knowledge on certain products that when you see them online, you're like, oh, I saw this in store for this price. I know I can sell it for this price online, right? So just doing the footwork yourself in store and online, and also networking is the two big things I'd recommend.
Yeah, and especially like retail arbitrage, you can get a lot higher profit margins too, and then they play off each other, right? Because then this is a multi-month, if not year process, right? But I can look at a lot of products and be like, okay, I assume that's like Nike out, or I assume that's like online, just off of having done it so much. And that's the advantage you get with the compounding effect of time and having just seen stuff a lot, basically, with stuff like that. So we were talking, you just hit 500 followers on Twitter, which is awesome. We got the road to 600. Where can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, so it's the same for both. Right here at Eddie Does FBA on Instagram, and then at Eddie Does FBA on Twitter, or X now.
Boom. Yeah, true. And I saw you were sending out a huge shipment the other day. What were the numbers on that shipment?
Yeah, let me pull it up because I actually know the exact.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I was like, I think the buy cost was like 2,000 or something. I didn't even know, expand on the image. I liked it, obviously.
So total sales. This is 2 days of RA sourcing, right? So just keep that in mind. Probably like 8 hours to 10 hours sourcing RA. 21,000 in sales value. Total buy cost 78.75, and total net profit 66.37. So that's like 80% ROI.
Sure, and that was way higher than I expected to see. So I clearly looked at the wrong image, or I just didn't fully look at it. But sweet, that's what's up, man. So you guys can see this stuff is completely possible. It happened for me. It happened for Edgar. We're gonna keep getting after it, keep growing. I encourage you guys to do the same, especially this time of year when we have Q4 right around the corner. But thanks a lot for coming on, and thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, thank you, Miles.